Alright, Shalom. I want to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Bahashim Rukakodash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rokoyer from the GMS Orlando camp, coming at you with another impromptu lesson. All right, now, just gonna get to the point, excuse me. We're just gonna get to the point in this lesson. The battlefield is changing, and it's important for us to hopefully to understand what's going on first and foremost, all right, and to adapt to the changing atmosphere, adapt to the changing of the battlefield, that's taking place spiritually. All right, because as you may have seen, there's a video going around the brotherhood of these different Christians, coming up and trying to basically provoke brothers into getting the ministry blamed, for some foolishness, man. And we've had here in Orlando the very same guy, this guy Maurice Price, come up to us, on that, trying to overtalk us, trying to provoke brothers into saying something that'll get the ministry blamed, trying to provoke emotions out of brothers. And these things are going to happen more often. These things are going to continue to happen, and they're going to get more frequent. These visitations from these demons, in the form of Christians or in the form of, whoever it is going to become more frequent, and that's just a part of the ministry that we signed up for. And it's a part of the ministry that we have to understand first and foremost. You have to understand that these things were prophesied to happen. The Lord said that we will face a time of persecution. The Lord said that we will be hated amongst our own, and that's exactly what's happening. And we see the setup for persecution. We see them trying to set brothers up to demonize us in the news and to demonize us amongst our peers, to make us out as or to paint us out as being the bad guys, catching brothers saying something, off the wall, or, saying something out of time, or, you know how it is, so it's just important that you understand what's going on. You understand what you're a part of, and you understand what the Lord has going on in the planet Earth, how the Lord is moving. It's important that you identify, that you're able to identify the spiritual shifts, that happen every so often. And it's important also to adapt, to be adaptable. Because just like any battlefield is subject to change. And this one that we're on, this one that we're fighting on, is going to change. All right, it's going to come a time to where this word is, brothers are persecuted. It's going to come a time to where this word is scarce. The Lord is going to take this word from off the highways and byways. It's going to come a time to where everything that we've been reading, everything that we've been practicing, all right, we're going to have to put forth in real time, game time. We're going to have to apply the scriptures that we read on a daily basis, But I just have a couple of precepts here, I want to get, Lord willing, satisfying unto you elect. I want to start off here in Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15. It says, "See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil." All right, we're living in some very evil times. All right, and it's important that brothers are circumspect, on all aspects of your journey. The truth extends far past just videos. The truth extends into your personal life as well. How you conduct yourself, what manner of person, what manner of man, what manner of woman you are in your personal life matters as well. That the ministry be not blamed. For the most part, the truth just should draw out the best in you. People in the world should have a good rapport, because the scriptures tell us to keep our business little, and to be peaceable with all men if possible. The scriptures tell us, to use and not abuse this world, to be wise as serpents, harmless as doves, man. In this world, your rapport your report should be clean. It should be clean, you know? But it says again, see then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. All right, and we're seeing it, man. It's evident, that the days are becoming more and more evil. The Lord is starting to move at a faster pace, which is, it's all spiritual, man. This is John 15 and verse 21. It said, I'm going to start verse 20. It says, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. But all these things will they do unto you for my name's sake, because they know not him that sent me. All right, and we're not greater than Yahushua, man. If Yahushua had to go through it, we have to go through it as well. And it's just a part of the coming of age process, just a part of what we signed up for. Like it says in Romans, the 14th chapter, let every man be persuaded in his own mind. You have to understand that this is a part of it. Understand that persecution is a part of carrying the testimony of Yahushua. And that burden came with not just us, but the men before us. Yahushua carried that burden, the heaviest, and you have men after him and men before him, such as Jeremiah, Obadiah, Daniel, Apostle Paul, the Apostle Peter, Apostle John, all the men of the Lord carried persecution, and it's a part of our journey as well to take on that same burden through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and understand that it's going to happen, and understand that the Lord ultimately, if we're a part of the elect, is going to carry us through it. All right, he's going to maintain us. Excuse this commercial. I'm going to read it again. It says, remember the word that I said unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you. If they have kept my saying, they will keep yours also. All right, and they didn't keep the sayings of Yahushua in his time. And he was the Lord, the Lord himself in the flesh, working miracles. All right, straight from the divine. And niggas still didn't believe. Niggas still persecuted Yahushua. Niggas still wanted Barabbas over the Lord. And the same thing is going to happen in these latter days, man. And it's important, going back to Ephesians, the 5th chapter, that you walk circumspectly. All right? Part of understanding what's going on is understanding that although persecution is coming, that does not mean that you force persecution upon yourself or force persecution upon the ministry. It'll come in its time, if it comes to you. But don't force it. Nothing has to be forced. If it's a part of your story, the Lord will make sure you go through it. If it's not, the Lord will make sure you won't. But just because something is, just because we understand that something is coming doesn't mean that we force it. We force the Lord's hand. We still have to walk circumspectly. You still have to move wisely in the planet Earth. You still have to be that light, that the Lord called us to be, Lord willing, what do you elect, as it says in Matthew's, the 5th chapter. I'm going to go back to Ephesians 5 and verse 15. See then that you walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. All right. And, as you grow in this truth, and the more and more, you study, the more and more you pray, the more and more you understand the will of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And the will of the Lord ultimately is to destroy America. All right, and what does that mean? What does that mean for us? You hear brothers say that a lot. You read it a lot, about the destruction of Babylon the Great. But what does that mean? What does it mean when you speak about the downfall of a hegemony, the downfall of an empire? All right, and what that means, quite frankly, is that there's going to be a time of great tribulation, spoken about in Jeremiah the 31st chapter, Daniel the 12th chapter, Revelation the 12th chapter, and so on and so forth. All right, when you speak about the downfall of an empire, it always comes with great bloodshed. Empires don't fall peaceably. Empires always fall harshly, with great tribulation, great calamity. And America's no different. Matter of fact, it is different in the fact being that it's going to be a greater tribulation, because this kingdom has been the wickedest kingdom that has ever existed on the planet Earth. Pursuant to Daniel the 12th chapter, it's going to be like a time like no other. So when you speak about the downfall of an empire, this is what you speak about. This is what is entailed, Salaki. This is what is entailed. All right, calamity, bloodshed, death, strife, disappointment. And all these things are approaching. And it's important that you understand what the will of the Lord is. All right, the will of the Lord is to do just that, to bring strife, calamity, bloodshed, death to America, Babylon the Great, as well as salvation and mercy to his elect, because the Lord is a balanced power. And through the fires that are sent upon this place, all right, the elect are going to be delivered and nourished through the tribulation. I wanted to get this too. Hold on. Damn commercial.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
Yeah, we back at it. What was that? Where was that? Oh God, the water y'all about me. I was want to get this here in Isaiah 29 as well. Going back to the point I mentioned earlier, about how these demons are starting to come out more and more, trying to trip brothers up in their words, just like they did Yahweh Shai and the men before us. Trying to get brothers to act out, so they can put it on a clip, clip it and demonize the ministry. Get brothers saying something, out of time, or getting brothers riled up in their, in their zealousness, or try to get brothers to, say or do something that'll just put blame on the ministry. And they're no different from their father Esau, their father the devil. This is Isaiah 29 and verse 20. For the terrible one is brought to naught, and the scorn is consumed, and all that watch for iniquity are cut off. That make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing or not. All right, and this is what we're facing. We're facing men, all right, who make an offender for a word, or try to make an offender for a word. And that's why it's important to move circumspectly. And ultimately the order that came down from the Apostle Tahar was spiritual, man. It was spiritual. Right on time. Because you can see it. You can see how these demons are moving. You can see how these devils are moving, man. We're not living in a time we used to, live in 2 years ago. 4 years ago, 6 years ago, when I first came into the truth. It's not that time anymore. Brothers were more brazen. Brothers were more, forward, so to speak. You could do that, so in a sense. But nowadays, things have to be more calculated. Things have to be more refined. And that's just the time that we're living in. It's just a part of the ever-changing battlefield. It says that make an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate, and turn aside the just for a thing and not. And there's a lot more snares that these devils are going to try to lay up for us to hopefully let during these latter days. But the beauty is that we've been given a forewarning through the Spirit by the Lord. The Lord has already warned us of what's getting ready to happen. It's beautiful because The Lord has given us an insight into how these niggas think. They're trying to pick our brains on what we think, and their brains have already been picked through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. We know the thought process of an Edomite. We know the thought process of a nigga. And the Lord gave us that so that we can prepare ourselves for what's getting ready to take place, man. It's not going to stay on the videos forever. It's not going to stay behind the screen forever. Eventually, you know, these things that we read about and the things that we have faith in are going to manifest. That battlefield is going to shift to live action. No more practice rounds. It's going to be live rounds. Hollow tip. Hey, but in that time, brothers and sisters are going to be prepared. You know, I have full faith in that. You know that. Brothers and sisters are going to be prepared, man. You know, the Lord going to carry brothers through. You know, like he's carried our forefathers through. It's going to be no different. Matter of fact, it is going to be different. It's going to be more miraculous. You know, it's going to be more grandeur than it was in the past. Lord willing, we're already elect. I'm going to end it off here in 1 Thessalonians chapter 5. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." All right, and the Lord is coming as a thief in the night to those who are not watching. You know, for those who the Lord placed upon that watchtower, there are signs that the Lord gave to tell when roundabout he's getting ready to make his second return. Not necessarily the exact time or the exact hour or the exact minute. All right, the Lord gave us spiritual indicators. All right, a spiritual measuring stick in the form of prophecy to tell when he's getting close. And we can tell now that the Lord is getting close. He's closer than he's ever been. So, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord shall cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep, as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us, who are of the day, be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet, the hope of salvation. All right, and it's important. You know, I really can't stress it enough. The importance of understanding what's going on in the spirit. And the importance of being able to adapt to the ever-changing battlefield, because the battlefield is changing. And eventually, one day, we're going to wake up and shit is just different. Everything we've been reading about is right in front of our face. It's just going to happen one day. Just like 2020 happened. You woke up one day and shit was different. On a global scale. And it's the same thing is going to happen for these major prophecies, man. One day you're going to wake up and shit just going to be different. But the Lord has given us ample time to prepare for that. That initial shock is still going to hit. But the Lord is allowed us to train up our spirit, to train up ourselves in faith, you know, so that shock load doesn't overtake us. With that being said, that's all I had. Lord, when it's edifying unto you elect, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rukakudash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Shalom. Stay up.